Welcome back. Welcome back to another beautiful day.
It's a lovely morning.
In the Outer Hebrides. We're exploring the island of South Uist today. But first...
Breakfast!
Breakfast.
Okay, so first rule of visiting the Outer Hebrides, never trust Google. Because the cafe is open at 8:30 for breakfast. No, it opens at 10. They are closed. We are not having breakfast. Breakfast take 2?
Yes.
Welcome to another Grape Soda Travels. If you're new to the channel, I'm Neil, this is Naomi, and we're currently touring the Outer Hebrides in our trusty camper van, Teddy. In this video, we're exploring the sights and the history of South Uist, a very different island to what we've experienced so far, so come along for the ride as we find out what South Uist has to offer.
Obviously, the other thing about breakfast in the van, washing up.
And we didn't put the hot water on because we didn't think we needed it. Not a bad view from which to do your washing up. I've had worse. But by the way, these aren't from breakfast. That was last time. Are you ready to explore South Uist?
Yes.
Okay, so South Uist, it has a road that's sort of almost like a spinal column. It goes all the way through the middle of the island with ribs going off towards the sea on each side. So I thought what we'd do is we'll go up and stop at places on the way up, and then if we see something of interest that isn't on my list, we'll find it on the way back down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
First up, the beach. Wow.
A stone.
It is, but it is 4,000 years old. It's been stood there. It's covered in the most beautiful mosses and lichens. Lovely. What a view.
Go check out the beach.
Gosh. Look at that, the Mallaig Way going north.
Stony Bridge. It's quite a long island, isn't it?
It is. It's the biggest of the Southern Isles, but it has a very sparse population. So you can go for ages without seeing it anywhere, and then these houses will just be dropped in a landscape.
Back to the van.
Next bit. All you can hear is the sea and the seabirds. It's lovely.
Ready for phase 2?
Yes, please. So we're going to go and see if we can find some roundhouses. So we're going to join up with the main road. That's a push to call it that. And then we have to turn at Cross Dougal, which I think is an excellent place name. And now we are joining the main road. It looks like this.
It's much flatter than where we've been before, isn't it?
Yes, it's much flatter than Barra.
It's not as pretty as Barra or Eriskay, is it, down here?
No. It's a more, I don't want to use the word barren, but it's a much more sparse landscape, isn't it?
And you have buildings like this.
Yes.
What is that?
What the dickens is this building? So it turns out it's a church. What an unusual bit of architecture. Wow. This is the Our Lady of Sorrows. We'll have a look at that on the way back, maybe. What a bit of architecture. Here we go. This is the cemetery, which is in the middle of nowhere.
Quite possibly the least flat car park you could ever possibly wish to use.
But they ask you to park here and then walk to the roundhouses. I don't think we've ever been somewhere quite like South Uist. We've only been on here exploring 2 minutes.
Proper middle of nowhere,
It
isn't
really
it?
is middle of nowhere. I quite like it.
Got a breeze on now.
Yes, puff jacket's gone on just to block out some of the breeze. It's slightly chill. Who lives in a house like this?
There's a lot of these. It's obviously a rabbit metropolis here.
Yeah. The archaeologists who did the study on this area think that the people who made these roundhouses were around the same sort of time as the people who put up the standing stone that we just showed you a little while ago. So these are from 2000 BC. And it's a significant place in the whole of the country because it's the only place in Great Britain where there's been a prehistoric mummy found. I didn't even know that was something that we did in this country at any point. So yeah, that's really interesting. So we've just parked up at the modern day cemetery, and 2200 BC, this site was a cremation cemetery. So it's kind of like a line of usage in the landscape. Cool, how interesting.
Did you see this was for smoking?
But I don't know what would have been smoked in here. I don't know if it's like smoking fish or because this is an area that seems to be to do with cremation. I don't know. What a fascinating place. Wonder who these people were. It's very, very rabbit holey just along here.
We've just spotted a picnic bench in the middle of nowhere. We're going to see what that signifies.
No words.
Okay, that's a lot of beach.
That's a lot of beach.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Canada. Next stop. That's mad, isn't it? That was a lovely walk.
It was.
I feel a bit windswept, but hey ho.
Next, somewhere to park up for lunch.
We're currently here. No, we're not, we're here. So we're going to go back into Dalborough and then down there. So Lochboisdale is one of the larger villages here on South Uist. It's not the main one. The main large village is back there at Dalborough. But this just looked like an interesting place to stop and have a bite of something to eat. There's the ferry terminal. Not sure where that one goes to. This must be a memorial to perhaps a boat sinking. How lovely that it's made in the shape of a boat with a funnel. Oh, this is fab. A lovely thing.
I'm going to grab some lunch in the van and charge some batteries.
Ours and electrical ones. Lunch lunched. And now we're on to the next place, which I think is called...
It's a surprise.
Anyway, history. History is beckoning. I'm good at this, isn't it? It's like watching one of those programmes on Channel 5 where they do history. It's that good.
What, for kids with puppets?
Sure.
Kildonan.
Kildonan, well done.
I knew that about 5 minutes ago.
One of the things that we've noticed here on South Uist, if you're planning on visiting but don't have your own accommodation on wheels, South Uist is awash with guest houses and B&Bs, so you should find somewhere to stay.
Lovely car park. We've come to see some history.
Yes, we have. So this quiet spot in the middle of nowhere is the birthplace of Flora MacDonald, she of the history books. Picking up, if you were with us last time when we were visiting Eriskay, Bonnie Prince Charlie first set foot on Eriskay, escaping after the Battle of Culloden. And he came to South Uist and there were plans for his escape, and Flora MacDonald managed to get travel permits to go to Skye, and she took Bonnie Prince Charlie with her, disguised as her lazy servant, and that's how they got Bonnie Prince Charlie off the islands and went to Skye.
And if the wind wasn't blowing a hoolie at this point, then you'd be able to hear me saying how mind-blowing I find it, coming up this close to places like this, so deeply rooted in history.
Two minutes down the road.
This will be interesting. That's a lovely thing. It's almost like a peacock. It's lovely. Museum. Here we are in the middle of nowhere and suddenly there's a fabulous museum. Hello. That's amazing. Oh my god. So this stone was in one of the most ancient church on South Uist at Howmore. And it was originally built into one of the walls, and then the chapel fell into disrepair, blah, blah. Anyway, 1990, someone noticed the stone was missing, They asked the police to get involved. Unfortunately, they couldn't get involved because nobody owned the stone. Anyway, 5 years later, the stone turns up in a flat in Euston in London. Somebody had come over from Canada to clear the flat because their son had died, and they found this. And apparently, their son and an unnamed friend had taken the stone. So this is Kate. These are the bones of a Pictish woman aged about 40 who lived around 1300 years ago. No. So we've just seen Flora MacDonald's house. Here is her glass rolling pin. Oh gosh, he's a dapper tan. So we've been sent outside with a key and a booklet.
Oh.
And we have to go out here and find the Nissen hut, which is, I think, round the corner. Wish us luck. Let's see. Oh my good God. Wow. I really didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect an entire boat. In 1989, a small band of enthusiasts started to raise £50,000 for building the galley. They were given money by Highland distilleries, well done them, and then they set off in 1991. So it took 2 years from finding the money to actually getting it in the water, and off they went. Over the next 40 days, an explosive mixture of 6 Irishmen and 6 Scotsmen rowed and sailed 400 miles north-south. At the end of the first week of this rowing, oh my life, in a freshening northerly breeze, there was a short, expensive tearing sound, and the mast broke, dumping the whole rig on the starboard rail with a force that would have killed a man if it had taken him on the head. By midnight, the ship's carpenter had scarfed, glued, and banded the broken stubs. Wow.
The map is out. Back on the road. These houses.
Yeah, you've got traditional thatched roofs, all held down with, I believe it's heather, is the material for the thatching.
The one on this side's not quite so good condition.
Yeah, that one's not so pretty, is it? A bit drafty. Look at this! You can see it all gets weighted down with stones so that it doesn't blow away in the wind.
Our final stop of the day.
We're going to Our Lady of the Isles. Tell you more when we get there.
So we walk up the hill, and this is what's at the top.
So this is a 40-ton statue.
I can believe that looking at it.
40 tons. So it was commissioned when there was the Ministry of Defence were going to do a missile testing range here. on South Uist, and it wasn't a popular idea. There is a lot of MOD here. Interestingly, Mary seems to be pointing in that, well, not pointing, but looking in that direction, and there is so much MOD over there, isn't there? Anyhow, so it was commissioned because of people's disappointment, that they were concerned that the influx of outsiders would have an impact on their culture, on their landscape, on their language. So this was built in order to be a testament to their Catholic devotion, but also it was a reminder to, not my word, strangers, that they were now entering again, not my word, a different place. And having spent the day exploring South Uist, yeah, I understand that use of that word, different.
It is different.
It is a very different place.
And we are strange.
We are strange and strangers. However, I don't think it's us that Mary's too annoyed with.
I hope not.
Worth a walk. She's quite the dramatic thing. So this is our final stop on South Uist.
Yeah.
What have you thought of the place?
It's very different to where we've been before.
It's certainly not Barra, and it's certainly not Eriskay, is it?
No, it's
Or like anywhere we have ever been.
it's harder to fall in love with South Uist than it is with Barra or Eriskay.
There's a bleakness.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed it. It's been fascinating.
It's a majestic bleakness.
I mean, definitely worth spending some time here.
If you want the sort of holiday where you just get away from things, come here. Not quite sure what's happening here. However, we think it's deliberate. There are people tending to the fire. I'm just wondering if they are burning heather. Because there's two separate fires. There's one here, and then one round the corner. Nobody seems to be in too much concern.
Quick trip to the shops.
Potatoes.
Carrots.
Beef mince?
No.
Or the meatballs?
Meatballs.
Meatballs, please. Yeah. Yes, please.
Very well stocked, isn't it?
It's a great co-op. Good. Right, we're stocked up for a couple of days. This is good.
Back to site.
Nearly. I think there's one thing that I'm maybe on the way home. Just one thing. We saw this as we started our day, and it looked like the most fascinating piece of architecture, particularly in this setting. And now we're nearly home, and I just thought I'd pop inside and see what the inside is like and how it compares to the outside. Gosh, this is a very modern space. Wow. Now it really is time to get back to the campsite.
Back at site.
We have landed for the evening.
What do you think of the site?
It's very simple. It does exactly what you need it to. You plug in, the electricity works, there's lots of water. The facilities are nothing fancy.
Ageing a little.
Tired?
Yeah, one of the showers I used I couldn't get hot water and was a bit
Bit pathetic.
decrepit, but the other two were okay.
Yeah. If not massively powerful, it was just sort of, water fell from above,
Just
didn't
about.
it? Yeah. But it's fine. I'll leave all the
base,
details.
isn't it?
Yes. And if you're here in the middle of the day, there is the cafe. But yes, I would recommend it. It's a great landing base, isn't it?
Yeah.
Super quiet. Have a listen. That'll do, won't it? So I'll leave all the information.
Yeah. It brings our time at South Uist to an end.
Sad times.
We're off to North Uist tomorrow.
Via Benbecula.
But that's for another day.
You'll have to come back and see us next time.
Yes. I hope you're enjoying our travels as much as we are.
So things to do. Make sure you are subscribed and ding that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next gripping instalment.
No, subscribing is free and it very much helps us out.
It does. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. I love a comment. I reply to everything. And always make sure that you check out the description because there's always something sneaky lurking.
So we'll see you next time on the way to North Uist.
Bye-bye.